Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Model Kit Review. Today I am looking at HobbyBoss's beautiful 1/48 scale Messerschmitt Me 262. The particular variant in this kit is the A1A-U4. The notes on this kit are really going to be applicable for any of the Messerschmitt Me 262s in HobbyBoss's line. First off, we're going to look at the detail on the surface of the kit. We're also going to look at the major parts and how they fit together. Next, we'll take a look at the clear parts. After that, we'll take a look at the decals and the color callouts on the kit. We'll also take a look at the detail parts that are included in the kit and how those are. And finally, we'll take a look at the instructions and go over those and take a look at the clarity of those and everything. And then at the end, I'll give my conclusions. First off, as you can see in this picture, everything here, there's no glue, everything is just set together. And you can see the fit is going to be just really nice on this kit. There's no tape holding things together. Things are just sitting in place right now. And I think if you clean up the parts, you're going to get just an excellent fit overall. I also think the surface detailing on this kit is nice. It's somewhat restrained. And you may have to do a little bit of tweaking here and there, but overall, with a coat of paint, these things are going to look fantastic. One nice area on this kit is the way HobbyBoss has done the trailing edges on the wings, and they're very, very thin, and it's actually just the lower wing forms the rear section of the wing there. And you can see the upper wing just kind of sits down on top of that. And again, this isn't even really cleaned up all that much, but the fit is superb. Looking at the clear parts that come in the kit, they look really nice. There's a little bit of flash to be cleaned up. Of course, you have your regular parts clean up. I would recommend dipping them in future, but everything from what I can see, just looking at it on the sprue, everything looks really good. Here we can see a very clever detail, and that is a white metal nose gear housing, and that's going to act as a nose weight and keep the plane from tail sitting. Very, very thoughtful. Looking at the decals, I haven't used any of these yet, but they do look decent on the sheet. They might be slightly out of register with the white kind of coming down below the decals, but it shouldn't be too bad to clean up. And looking at the box art, we can see a two-tone brown green and light green aircraft. And unfortunately, in the color callouts, in the painting guide here, it just shows a dark green aircraft. Really, this guide is only helping with the stencils, and it doesn't help with the color markings at all, which is unfortunate. And really, it's the only, I would say, major downfall of this kit is coming up with how to paint the two-tone color scheme if that's what you choose to do. Taking a look at the detail parts, this is the instrument panel, and the engraving on this looks very nice. It has a decal that's going to go over it, and I think that'll turn out really nice. These are some of the other detail parts as we look through the sprues here. I'm not going to go through each sprue, but from what I can see on the detail parts, everything looks really good. It's crisply molded. I don't see sink areas. Here you can see the kit wheels, and I've got a set of the True Details Me 262 wheels that I'll probably use in place of the kit parts. Here's some more of the kit interior detail. You can see the stick and some of the other interior parts. And there's a little bit of flash, there's a little seam on the parts, but everything looks pretty good. And these are the insides of the landing gear covers, and it just gives you an idea of how nice, this is going to look so nice under a coat of paint and a wash. These are the engine sprues. Everything looks pretty good. There's not an excessive amount of detail or rivet detail on these, but what is there is cleanly molded, and it should look very, very nice under a coat of paint. And I would assume that the fit is going to be better than, say, on the Dragon kit, which I've built. These are some more. This is the underside of the cockpit tub. Detail looks really good on these. This is behind the pilot's seat in the rear of the cockpit. And again, it just looks good. That's going to look so nice under a coat of paint. So on the detail parts, I'm really happy. Taking a look at the instructions, steps 1 and 2 really focus on the interior of the plane and the interior of the fuselage. And there's a lot of parts in the rear of the fuselage that you simply don't have to put together if you don't want to, if you're not going to open up the rear fuselage. Certainly do that as you wish, but you could probably skip a good amount of parts just putting it together with what you can see through the cockpit. In step 3, it covers the engine assemblies. These look very straightforward, very easy. I don't anticipate any trouble with those. Putting on the lower wing, and again, that looks very straightforward, no real surprises. The lower wing fits nicely to the fuselage, just dry fitting it. Step 4, we're installing the top of the wings and the gun cover and the tail planes onto the model, and a couple of other details here. And then step 5 is mounting the landing gear to the kit, and again, it should be very straightforward. In step 6, we are putting the engine nacelles onto the aircraft. And again, if you've dry fit everything, I don't anticipate problems with that. And then the final step covered here is installing the canopy sections. All in all, it really looks like a painless build. From what I've seen so far, the fit is excellent. The surface detailing is super nice. I just can't really say enough good about these kits. I'm really impressed by what I see in the box. Going through it, the only downside I see really to this kit at all is the decals might be a little bit out of register. That's only going to affect a couple of the decals. And then it also, the color callouts on the painting guide are altogether lacking, and you really need to do a little bit more research to see if you can find how to paint this plane accurately. This is a one-off plane, there's not very many of them, so finding the references for this particular plane might be difficult, maybe not. This kit is really representative of the HobbyBoss line of ME262s. I feel that any one of them that you get, regardless of version, it's going to go together well. You're going to have good fit, good detail, and it really will result in a nice looking model when completed. I would recommend these to builders with a little bit of experience, definitely due to the higher parts count, the number of detail parts in the kit. I would also recommend this to somebody who has some experience in researching color schemes on Luftwaffe aircraft. I would love to know what you guys think. If any of you have built this kit, please feel free to share in the comment section below. As always, I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and until next time, model on.